day like a little drink, raise up my voice and sing. And an hour or two with a fine brown brew, and I'm ready for anything. At McCluskey's Inn there were sisters for the landlord's daughters there. And every night when they turn out the light, I'd tiptoe up the stair, singing one for the morning glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who stand his ground, and four for the love of you, me girl, four for the love of you. Well, I got the call from foreign shores to go and fight the foe, and I thought no more of the sisters four, but still I was sad to go. We sailed away on a ship, the Morning Glory was her name, and we'd all fall down when the rum would round, and we'd get up and start again, singing one for the Morning Glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, me girl, four for the love of you. Singing one for the Morning Glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, me girl, four for the love of you. Well, I sail once more for my native shore, farewell to the raging sea, and McCluskey's Inn was beckoning, and my heart was filled with glee. But there on the shore were the sisters four, with a bundle on each knee. There were three little girls and a bouncing boy, and they all looked just like me, singing one for the morning glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, me girl, four for the love of you. Singing one for the morning glory, two for the early dew, three for the man who'll stand his ground, and four for the love of you, me girl, four for the love of you.
There was three lovely lasses from Kimmage,
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 and whenever there was a bit of a scrimmage,
a scrimmage.
and I was the toughest of all. You know I was the toughest of all. For the cause of the row was Joe Cashin,
Joe Cashin,
Joe Cashin,
Joe Cashin,
Joe Cashin,
Joe Cashin,
Joe Cashin.
Joe Cashin.
But he told me he thought I looked smashing
You look smashing
at a dance at St. Anthony's Hall. At a dance at St. Anthony's Ball. When he gets a few jars, he goes frantic,
goes frantic,
goes frantic,
goes frantic,
goes frantic,
goes frantic,
goes frantic.
goes frantic,
But he's tall and he's dark and romantic,
romantic,
and I loves him in spite of it all. And I loves him in spite of it all. When he told me he thought we should marry,
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 he said it was foolish to tarry.
to Terry.
So I lends him the price of a ring. So I lends him the price of a ring. When me dad said he'd give us a present,
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 a stool and a lousy stuffed pheasant,
the pheasant,
and a picture to hang on the wall, and a picture to hang on the wall. Well, I went to the Tennessee section,
the 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 D just before the election.
the election,
Said, give me a house in me, ma. Saying he'd give me a house in me, ma. Well, I'm getting a house. The man said it.
man said it,
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 But I've 5 or 6 kids to me credit.
to me credit.
In the meantime, we'll live with me, ma. In the meantime, we'll live with me, ma. There you go, that's Kimmage.
I had a first cousin called Arthur McBride. He and I took a stroll down by the seaside, seeking good fortune and what might betide for it being on Christmas morning. Arthur and I, we both took a tramp where we met Sergeant Hopper and Corporal Cramp, besides a wee drummer who beat up our camp with his rowdy dow-dow in the morning. Well, now, says the sergeant, if you will enlist at 10 guineas, I quickly shall shove in your fist. Besides the crown for to kick off your dust and drink the king's health in the morning. Well, had we been such fools as to take your advance, a wee bit of mourning we barter on chance, for you have no scruples to send us to France, where we would be killed without warning. Well, now, says the sergeant, if I hear one more word, I instantly now will out with my sword and run through your bodies as strength will afford. So now, me gay devils, take warning. Well, Arthur and I, we took in the odds and we gave him no chance for to lunge out their swords. Our whacking shillelaghs came over their heads and we bade them right smart in the morning. As for the wee drummer, we rifled his pouch, we made a football of his rowdy dow-dow, threw it in the ocean to rock and to roll, and bade him the tedious returning. As for the old rapier that hung by his side, we flung it as far as we could in the tide. To the devil I bid ye, says Arthur McBride, to temper your steel in the morning.
I am. Do a little song about the brewing of whiskey. One of my favorite topics, called The Hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin cans, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, soak from Rise and Barney. Keep your eyes well peeled today, the tall, tall men are on their way, searching for the mountain tay, the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin cans, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from Rise and Barney. Swing to the left and swing to the right, the excise man will dance all night, drinking up the day till the broad daylight, the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from Rise and Barney. Gallon for the butcher, a quart for Tom, a bottle for dear old Father John, to help the poor old dear along the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from Rise and Barney. Stand your ground, it is too late. The excise man are at the gate. Glory be to Paddy for the drinking it made in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, smash the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising, Barney. Gather up the pots and the old tin can, smash the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like a devil from the excise man in the hills of Connemara.
Oh, I am a merry plowboy, and I plowed the fields all day, till a sudden thought came to my mind that I should run away. I've always hated slavery since the day that I was born, so I'm off to join the IRA, and I'm off to Joroborn. Well, I'm off to Dublin in the green, with our helmets glistening in the sun, where the bayonets flash, the rifles crash, to the echo of a Thompson gun. I'll leave aside my old grey coat, I'll leave aside my plough, I'll leave aside my horse and yoke, for no more I'll need them now. I'll take my sharps revolver and my bandolier of tin. I'll live or die, I can but try to avenge my countrymen. Well, I'm off to Dublin in the green, with our helmets glistening in the sun, where the bayonets flash, the rifles crash, to the echo of a Thompson gun. I'll leave aside my Mary, she's the girl that I adore. I wonder if she'll think of me when she hears the cannon roar. And when the war is over and dear old Ireland's free, I'll take her to a church and wed, and a rebel's wife she'll be. Well, I'm off to Dublin in the green, with our helmets glistening in the sun, where the bayonets flash, the rifles crash, to the echo of a Thompson gun. Well, I'm off to Dublin in the green, with our helmets glistening in the sun, where the bayonets flash, the rifles crash, to the echo of a Thompson gun.
Oh, see the host of fleet footmen come with faces wan, from Farmstead and from Fisher's Cut, along the banks of Bann. They come with vengeance in their eyes. Too late are they, for young Roddy McBorley goes to die on the bridge of Toom today. When he last stepped up that street, shining pike in hand, behind him marched in grim array a stalwart Ernest band. For Antrim town, for
young Roddy McCorley goes to die on the bridge of doom today.
There is never a one of all your dead more bravely fell in fray than he who marches to his fate on the bridge of doom today.
True to the death, true to the last, he treads the upward way. As young Roddy McCorley goes to die on the bridge of doom today. Now young Roddy McCorley goes to die on the bridge of doom today.
Roddy McCorley.
Farewell, you dungeons dark and strong, the wretch's destiny. But first, since time will no be long, on yonder gallows tree. Oh, what is death but parting breath on many's the bloody plain? I dared his face, and in this place I scorn him yet again. Say rantingly, say wantonly, say wantonly gay he. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Untie these bands from off my hands and give to me my sword. And there's no man in all Scotland but I'll brave him at his word. I've lived a life of grief and strife, I die by treachery. It burns my heart that I must depart and not avenged be. Say rantingly, say wantonly, say dauntingly gay. He played a tune and he danced around below the gallows tree. Now there we'll light thou sunshine bright at all beneath the sky. Make coward shame disdain his name, the wretch that dares not die. The reprieve was coming all the Brago band to set McPherson free. But they put the clock 4:15 and they hanged him to the tree. Say Ranton Lee, say Wanton Lee, say dauntingly gay. He played a tune and he danced it around below the gallows tree.
As I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then produced my rapier, saying stand and deliver for you are bold deceiver. My shirring cabadoo rabada. Back for the daddy-o, back for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She smiled and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil take the ladies for they never can be easy. My shirring kamadoo ramada. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went up to my chambers of Fortega slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels and for sure it was no wonder. But Jenny drew me charges and she filled them up with water. They called for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. My shirring amadoo ramada. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel. Up comes a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my pistol, for she stolen away my rapier. But I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken by shirring kabadoo ramada. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can aid me, 'tis me brother in the army. If I can find his station in Cork or in Killarney, then if he come with me, we go over to Kilkenny. And I know it treat me better than me only sporting Jenny. My shirring kamadoo ramada. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some takes delight in the carriages a-rolling, and others takes delight in the hurley and the bowling. But I takes delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning bright and early. My shirring kamadoo ramada. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. My shirring kamadoo ramada. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
whiskey and enjoy.
I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl against the factory wall in the dirty old town. Yeah, in the dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Up springs a girl from the streets at night in the dirty old town. Yeah, the dirty old town. I heard a siren across the docks. I saw a train set the night on fire. I smelled the smoke on the saltboard wind in the dirty old town. Yeah, the dirty old town. I'm gonna build me a good sharp axe, shining steel, tempered in the fire. I will cut you down like an old dead tree in the dirty old town. Yeah, the dirty old town.
Dirty Old Town. I love that song.
There's piercing wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees. I buttoned up my coat to keep me warm, but the days are on the mend and I'm on the road again. The fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. I've a fine felt hat
And a strong pair of brogues I crossed in me pocket for me bow. And me felt strange and new, and I lent in at you. So I'm well prepared to ramble and must go.
I'm as happy as a king when I catch a breath of spring. The grass turning green as winter ends, and the geese are on the wing and the thrushes start to sing. I'm headed down the road to see my friends. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues I crossed in me pocket for me bow.
And me felt strange and new, and I lent in a two. So I'm well prepared to ramble and must go.
I have friends in every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fairs, through the Dumfries and the Creels and the farmers making deals, the yellow-headed tinkers selling wares. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I've rosin in me pocket for me bow, and they felt strange and new, and I lent in a too, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. Here's a health to one and all, to the big and to the small, to the rich and poor alike, and foe and friend. And when we return again, may our foes return to friends, and may peace and joy be with you until then. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I've rosin in me pocket for me bow, and they felt strange and new, and I lent in a too, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I've rosin in me pocket for me bow, and they felt strange and new, and I lent in a too, so I'm well prepared to ramble and must go. As I come home on Monday night, as drunk could be, I saw a horse outside the door, where my old horse should be. Well, I calls my wife and I says to her, "Hey, wife, would you kindly tell to me who owns that horse outside the door, where my old horse should be?"
Oh, you're drunk, you silly old fool, till you cannot see. That's a lovely sow that my mother sent to me. It's many days I travel, 100 miles or more, but a saddle on a sow sure I never saw before. And as I come home on Tuesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a coat behind the door, where my old coat should be. Well, I calls my wife and I says to her, "Hey, wife, would you kindly tell to me who owns that coat behind the door, where my old coat should be?"
Hey, you drunk, you silly old fool, till you cannot see.
That's a woolen blanket that my mother sent to me.
It's many
Days I travel,
100 miles or more,
but the buttons on a blanket shirt I never saw before. And as I come home on Wednesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a pipe upon the chair, where my old pipe should be. Well, I calls me wife and I says to her,
Hey, wife,
"Would you kindly tell to me who owns that pipe upon the chair, where my old pipe should be?"
oh, you drunk, you silly old fool, till you cannot see.
That's a lovely tin whistle that my mother sent to me. Many days I travel,
100 miles or more,
with tobacco in a tin whistle sure I never saw before. It's getting late in the week, and as I come home on Thursday night, as drunk could be, I saw two boots beside the bed, where my old boot should be. Well, I calls me wife and I says to her,
Hey, wife,
"Would you kindly tell to me who owns them boots beside the bed, where my old boot should be?"
oh, you drunk, you silly old fool, till you cannot see.
There's two lovely geranium pots my mother sent to me.
It's many
Days I travel,
100 miles or more,
but laces and geranium pots I never saw before. And as I come home on Friday night, as drunk could be, I saw a head upon the bed, where my old head should be.
Ruh-roh.
Well, I calls me wife and I says to her,
Hey, wife,
"Would you kindly tell to me who owns that head upon the bed, where my old head should be. Aye, you drunk!
You're drunk, you silly, you fool, till you cannot see.
That's a lovely cabbage that
My
my
mother
mother
said
sent
to me. It's
Many
many days I travel, 100 miles or more, but a cabbage with its whiskers on should never saw before. It's many days I've traveled, 100 miles or more, but a cabbage with its whiskers on should never saw before.
I drank 16 doubles for the price of one. Trying to find the courage to talk to one. I asked her for a dance, not a second glance. My night had just begun. Well, I'll drink to the Father and the Holy Ghost. I'm kneeling at the altar of my nightly post. And now let's raise a glass, not the first or last. Come join me in this toast. Because the
Old black rum's got a hold on me like a dog wrapped around my leg.
and the
Old black rum's got a hold on me. Will I live for another day? Hey, will I live for another day?
Well, the Queen of George Street just came walking on by with some guy who don't care that she stood in line since 9:30. Spent 3 hours on her hair. Well, her friends are looking at me with an evil grin. I think this bloody racket may soon begin. They must have said something to the George Street Queen. Now the boys are joining in, and the old black rum's got a
Hold on me like a dog wrapped round my leg.
And the
Old black rum's got a hold on me. Will I live for another day? Hey, will I live for another day?
Well, I drank all of my money and I slept out in the rain. Every day is different, but the nights they're all the same. You'll never see the sun on the old black rum. I know I'm gonna do it again, because the
Old black rum's got a hold on me like a dog wrapped round my leg.
and the old black rum's got a
Hold on me, will I live for another day? Hey, will I live for another day? Hey, will I live for another day?
We sailed out of Dunmore, Michaelmas gone by, cowhides, wool, and live cargo. 20 young wildies, ready pledged to fly, sailing for the lowlands low. The lowlands low, the lowlands low, sailing for the lowlands low. John Powers, the skipper, from the Church of Crook. Mikey keeps log for his father. Crew all from Mallow, Feather and the Hook, sailing for the lowlands low. The lowlands low, the lowlands low, sailing for the lowlands low. Well, pirate approached us many leagues from shore, but we fought and we sank him in good order. He'll go a-roving, plundering no more, sailing for the lowlands low. The lowlands low, the lowlands low, sailing for the lowlands low. Well ready with priming, we'd our galliot guns, muskets and pikes in good order. If we should be riddled, captives would be none, death or else the lowlands low. The lowlands low, the lowlands low, death or else the lowlands low. We smuggled out the wild geese, put them safe on shore. Then we unloaded our cargo. A fair wind is blowing, we're headed for Dunmore, sailing from the lowlands low. The lowlands low, the lowlands low, sailing from the lowlands low. The lowlands low, the lowlands low, sailing from the lowlands low.
When boyhood's fire was in my blood, I read of ancient freemen of Greece and Rome who bravely stood 300 men and 3 men. And then I'd pray I yet might see our fetters rent in twain, and Ireland along the province be a nation once again, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland along a province be a nation once again. And from that time through wildest woe, that hope has shown a starlight. Larcote love's bright summer glow outshine that solemn starlight. It seemed to watch above my head in forum, field, and fane. Its angel voice sang round my bed, a nation once again, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland along a province be a nation once again. And as I grew from boy to man, I bent me to that bidding, my spirit of each selfish plan and cruel passion ridding. For thus I hope someday to win. Oh, can such hope be vain? When my dear country shall be made a nation once again, a nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland along a province be a nation once again. One more time. A nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland along a province be a nation once again.
Once again, on behalf of the Irish Oaks, thank you guys very, very much. We'll see you the next time. God bless.